I remember when Bitcoin, the price of one Bitcoin crossed the threshold of being worth what 1 ounce of gold was. And it was an arbitrary milestone, yes. But it was interesting, because it did not take long for Bitcoin to go from the value, from having no fiat denominated value, from just being traded as a novelty, to being one Bitcoin worth more than 1 ounce of gold. However, I think that now that the market cap of Bitcoin is approaching 1/5 the value of gold, I think is very, very interesting. We are getting into some serious games here. This is getting there. This is not Bitcoin is no longer just a speculative asset. If it is worth 1/5 the fiat denominated market cap of gold, Bitcoin is a serious player that cannot be ignored. And I want to make a somewhat of a prediction about how I think gold is going to be, it is being and is going to be demonetized by Bitcoin. And if you are a gold bug, or you hold gold, you don't hold Bitcoin, recognize that you are betting against, you are on the wrong side of this bet if what I'm about to describe comes to pass. So, what happens when Bitcoin becomes worth half the market cap of gold? I think what you have is a situation, especially if gold just continues to not really go anywhere, even in the face of incredible money printing. If gold continues to just kind of linger where it is, and Bitcoin continues to eat up its market share, then people are going to question. They're going to look at this and they're going to say, well, what one of these is actually going to be considered hard money by humanity? And if Bitcoin is worth half the market cap of gold, you begin to approach this tipping point where humanity, perhaps en masse, begins to realize that it is Bitcoin that is being chosen as the premier monetary store of value. And once you hit that tipping point, then it's game over for gold, because then the game theory kicks in, where now it actually makes sense to exit the gold ship and pile in to the Bitcoin ship before the rest of the market does. Recognize that once this tipping point is approached, and there's no way to predict when it occurs, but once you hit that psychological tipping point for humanity, then it is game over, because now if you hold gold, you have a choice. Either you go down with the ship, or you abandon your position and get onto the ship that is not sinking, and which would be Bitcoin. That's why I did not use the example of what happens when Bitcoin has the same market cap as gold, because I think that you hit that tipping point way before that. I think when Bitcoin has the same market cap of gold, it will be because gold is experiencing a terminal collapse. So if you picture it, I'm not envisioning that Bitcoin is just going up while gold treads water in terms of market cap, and then Bitcoin just gradually passes it and gold stays at that $10 trillion market cap. That's not how it's going to happen. What's going to happen is that Bitcoin is going to keep going up. It's going to keep going exponentially up perhaps to half the market cap of gold. And then all of a sudden, you're going to hit this tipping point, and people that hold gold are going to see the writing on the wall, and there's going to be a mad rush to exit gold and get into Bitcoin. And that is how the Bitcoin achieves the same market cap as gold. It is a decline. It is a collapse of gold's price compared, both measured in both fiat and Bitcoin. It is a collapse that occurs, and that in that collapse, the market cap of gold meets the market cap of Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin just, and then it's game over. Then it is game over. Gold has been demonetized at that point. Perhaps what we will see in maybe not the too distant future is a market cap of 1 to 2 trillion for gold and 10 trillion for Bitcoin. A reversal. A that would effectively imply a demonetization of gold. That's what demonetization of gold to me would be. Gold collapses to being worth a market cap of 1 to 2 trillion, and Bitcoin just essentially replaces it, and that's totally disregarding the fiat currency and all the rest of the capital and wealth in the world. We're not even looking at that. We're just looking at Bitcoin versus gold. So I think we are getting very close to that tipping point, folks. If you're looking at the market cap of Bitcoin and it is and you're approaching a fifth the value of gold's market cap, and then probably maybe even by year's end we could be at a quarter the value of gold's market cap. At what point do you hit that tipping point? And once it occurs, it's irreversible. Gold has then been demonetized. So that's what I think is occurring. I think that gold is being demonetized. And the central point that I want to convey in this video is that the critical inflection point that will occur, if it does occur, where gold is definitively demonetized and that value is transferred to Bitcoin, I believe that tipping point will occur suddenly and without warning. You might think that Bitcoin replaces gold when Bitcoin reaches $10 trillion in market cap and gold has 10 trillion in market cap, but that's not how it's going to play out. I don't believe. It's going to be a tipping point, a psychological tipping point for humanity, in which it becomes all too obvious where the momentum lies. It becomes all too obvious that Bitcoin is the chosen money of humanity going into this new age of not just the internet, but this new age of this new epoch of civilization. And just looking at how close Bitcoin is to closing in on gold's market cap now, it's starting to feel like we are approaching this inflection point. And the thing about it is, once that occurs, there will be no time to react. If you're not already in Bitcoin, it's too late. If gold really is being demonetized and Bitcoin is in the process of replacing it, then this truly is, just on this metric alone, this basis alone, Bitcoin truly is one of the most important and historic opportunities for humanity in human history. An event such as this, it's not that it happens only once in a lifetime, or even once in a century or a millennium. Empires rise and fall, and something like gold remains as money for humanity. For gold to be demonetized or for any money, hard money, to be demonetized. It only happens a few times in the history of a species.